Destiny, no, come on. 95% of your content the past month has been very pro and understanding of Israel. Like, come on. Yeah, because I mean, that's the side that we're covering right now. I mean, I'm generally a pro-Israel person. Don't make any mistake. I think that Israel probably has a right to exist as a country. We just need to figure out like a stable status quo between Israel and Palestine, where Palestinians aren't being like by Israel in their existence. Like, that's the path forward. Yeah, let me be unambiguously clear about that. I think that Israel as a country should exist. I think there's good reason for it to exist. I think there's good reason for us to protect its existence. I fully 100% support that. Any of you like sea to river people should go jump off a cliff, or you should go to Palestine and fight, find a Israeli missile of your own, hopefully. But obviously, as it's been happening, the status quo right now is not acceptable. To where Palestinian people in the West Bank and in the Gaza Strip are living a pretty life as a result of Israel trying to maintain their security status. I don't think that that situation is untenable and probably not fair or not right to the Palestinian peoples. But Destiny, quick question. How do you justify Israel's existence given the historical setting? Very easily. Britain had a mandate for that territory post Ottoman Empire collapse, and then post World War II, they threw Israel up there, and that's how it goes. That's how the entire history of the world has been in terms of establishing borders. There was no Palestinian nation, and a group of people living in some areas doesn't give them an indefinite and permanent right to settle that land and to have a governing body recognize it into perpetuity. That's not how any border, any country, any nation, any state, any part of the world has ever gone. You never at any point have ever said, we're going to go back 80 years and say, because you people lived here. So this is not how anything goes. Countries exist at the behest of governments. Borders are drawn by, multiple governments, by bodies like the UN that recognize countries. That's how it goes. Yeah, that's it. It's super easy and super simple. That's like the easiest question. Anybody that's like, well, didn't Israel invade and kind of blah, blah, blah. There was no Palestinian nation there, okay? Palestinians were always parts of like other empires, other peoples, whatever. They didn't have a nation state of their own that was recognized by anybody. No, this is how it goes. You can't go back and turn the clock back and reset the borders or reset the composition of some country just because some other people were there beforehand. It just doesn't work that way. You could do it. I mean, you could arguably do it if it's happening now. If it's happening like right now, if people are trying to invade somebody or take something over, I think there's arguments against that. That's why I think, for instance, you can make an argument that there can be a Palestinian state that gets international recognition, but you can't go back 80 years and say, oh, well, you shouldn't be here or you should be here because of this. It just doesn't work, yeah. Isn't that the entire basis for Israeli statehood going back 2,000 years? No, the basis for Israeli statehood was World War I and II, and it was the winning team with a mandate to decide how they wanted to divvy up or draw borders for the new territories. Destiny so confidently utters the most uncritical thought about this conflict. Every single border in the history of the world has been determined this way. Where do you think every single country ever came from? It's been through conquest, and then after conquest, it's been countries drawing borders. Like that's every single part of world history. Yeah. I mean, it's like people have been going to war with Israel for the past 80 years too. If they would have won those wars, they probably would have fucking killed every fucking Jew there. Like that probably would have, or most of them, Jesus. People in Gaza Strip are insane, okay? There are multiple countries in Europe that have donated like over 100, they talk about like fresh water in Gaza and how they don't have like fresh water and it's all contaminated. Part of the reason for that, Europe has invested like over $100 million in trying to get pipes and clean water over there. Hamas literally films themselves. I don't have to like make this up. It's not even propaganda. Hamas films themselves digging up the water pipes to make rockets. Okay, like Jesus Christ.